There we go. You guys had conversation, Ilan and Seren, separating. Um, while you guys are resting, which this counts as a short rest until you guys take a long rest. Um, Savant, you finished making the food. Serafina, you had finished doing your identify. I can just tell you what it is. It is a potion of dragon breath, specifically ice breath.
It's like a mint chewing gum commercial.
It is so frosty.
Is it minty? I want it.
When used, it has 3 uses, which you can use as a bonus action after drinking it, or until an hour has passed.
Okay.
And I won't tell you how much damage until you use it.
Wow. Well,
Ga, ga, ga.
I cannot guess that from.
Yeah, you can't do that from identify. Anyway, with that, you finished doing identify. What's everyone else doing?
Avoiding Savant's food.
All right, you can do that. It seems both Daniela and Sechiko are as well.
I will just like happily down whatever food is offered to me.
Okay.
Well, Savant will walk over with it, and we also want to speak with him, so.
Yeah, it's quite savory.
He comes over the bowl. Well, it's shit, but it's at least warm. To be honest.
It's very good. It's good.
You know,
I like it.
I didn't need to take cooking lessons. Anyway, did you see anything while I was cooking? This horrible grudge.
Not as yet. We've learnt a few. Well, not learnt. Put some pieces together with some stuff. It seems like. Do you remember us talking about the Emerald Sea?
Yes, to some degree, yes.
Which was like the Feywild leading through. Well, we're apparently, possibly, probably sitting in the Shadowfell equivalent of that, which is where Lolth is from. So it all fits together and is ominous and shit.
Well, that doesn't sound good, at least.
Yeah. At least we have some context on the kind of death and dismemberment we're walking into.
You know, I've been with you guys for some time now, and you don't really know me per se.
Yeah, we know what we need to be able to trust you. Anything more than that is.
I feel like I get to know you so personally lately, at least. I don't really have any real friends per se in the last couple of last 25 years. I guess I've been now. I really only had my uncle, and that's all about it. After the accident happened. Or
Accident?
you want to call it an accident? Well, he shows his hand, and you see a ring on it. Well, I was married, just married, to my beautiful wife Sylvia.
Sylvia?
And yes,
Nima.
I was a bit, well, mostly thrown out by my family because I did married someone of no good clan. You know, basically, like nobility marrying a lowborn, sort of like that. And so we just picked up. I changed my clan name. That's why I'm now Shrapnel.
Nothing.
And we were heading off to set off to Berlin.
You were headed to
But-
Berlin.
Yeah, that was what I did. Like in a shop, I would do small gizmos, and that was I was decent at. And she was all better. She was a hard-working woman. We would figure something out when we got there. See him started på vet. But you know, the underroads are hard and dangerous. And I wasn't trained in anything. Well, I was sort of trained. I know some enchantment, and I know how to use basically my rapier that I still carry. But I was never good at it. So when the giants attacked, there was nothing I could do. I was nearly killed. All I found was the scarf of my wife, and that's when everything fell down. That's when I went away for 5 years, not remembering anything of those 5 years. My uncle found me after thinking that I was dead. I I told him the story after being out of cab, drunk, and found in a gutter. He picked me up, trained me to do something with my life, and my hatred for giants was keeping me alive currently. I always wanted to be a hero, and that's why I want to show Sylvia why I still is alive, that I could do something good with my life. That's why I feel like I could never be like you guys. You do heroic stands, you offer yourself. You're way better than me in all this magic stuff and stuff. I just feel like I'm getting dragged along and sometimes helping. For Christ's sake, or for Gond? Oh, God damn it. Yeah, for Gond's sake. I can't even keep my firearms not blowing up on me.
Well, let me let you in on a wee little secret about all of us. We're pretty much all just tagging along and blundering into opportunities to help. That's just what we are. I mean, we're called the Broken Compass for a reason. I mean, I was abandoned as a child at a monastery in the mountains. Saren is estranged from her family because of a tragedy in her past. Uh, Serafina has lost the mentor that trained her. Ithelmore, well, Ithelmore
I think
has
I
quite
get that part.
Yeah, this is quite complicated. We don't know anything about Aaron, but I imagine he was probably some. I don't know. I'm sure the shit will hit the fan with him at some point, but all of us are lost and directionless and alone until we found each other. And by being together and by doing what we do, we have found a purpose. And that is what this group is about. That's what we, you included, are about. And I don't know the slightest thing about how the afterlife works for gnomes or for anyone really, but I imagine that if your wife could see everything that you've done so far, she would already be proud. I know I am. and I feel safer having you and your noisy stick things watching my back. We're all just looking for a way to help, and if we are lucky, we will stumble across it. Oh shit, have I gone quiet?
Yeah, you get really muffled for
It's
that.
back to normal
Oh.
now.
Yeah, okay. I think I was just talking quietly
Yeah,
because
okay.
it was a quiet scene. Did you hear what I said, or was it too quiet?
Yeah, I heard what you said, but it's really hard when you only can hear with one ear.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. I heard.
Mm.
Yeah, I understand. You know, I never really wanted to run around in the glaciers and, you know, stuff like that. I wanted to be an adventurer, I guess, but I
Well-
never expected to actually be able to do it.
Well, newsflash for you, you're on a fucking adventure. So,
Well, yes, I have had the most fun in a long time. I started to get friends. That's new for me. Well, for a time. It just feels that I will always not feel at home, but I'm starting to feel more at ease.
home is a complicated concept for all of us, I think.
Well, I've never slept in a place more than a couple of days for 25 years, to be honest.
Well, coming from somebody who slept in the same place for longer than that and still didn't feel at home, home is not where you rest your head, it's where you let your guard down. And I guess for me, home is this bunch of shit. And
That's very wise of you. But I
Well,
don't. As he wipes his tear with his scarf, that you know where it come from now. But I don't like how you sound to me like I'm a child. I'm older than you. You know,
you are?
I'm 145. What do you think?
Really? God, you don't look a day over 50.
The white hair is not for show.
Exactly.
I'm sorry if I have spoken down to you like a child. I wasn't my intention and certainly wasn't my mindset.
Well, it may be unintentional. You do it the same thing with Serafina sometimes.
See?
Well, not not in a hostile way, but you do. Let's not talk about it right now. Just enjoy this fat food. And Savant will sit quietly and just eat his food and then go to bed.
No, you don't have to give me concentration checks. Do you give food to the rest of the people, or do you just give it to them?
Yeah, he will give to the people on guard and then basically leave it open. Like everyone could take food if they want to, but I don't think anyone wants to.
Okay. As a note, Daniela creates food for herself and Aaron.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
And anyone else who asks us there's actually too much from the spell.
Yeah, it's just a bucket load of food. Like, as Savant sees it, it's basically like, oh.
It's bland, but Aaron can prestidigitate it.
It's not bland anymore.
As you guys are talking, you do notice that Junga actually comes towards the area, kind of across from a pile of rocks from the north. as he seems to have been scouting. From what it tells, from his movements at least, you can tell. And he kind of walks in and tosses his hood back, kind of stands up straight again, and then smells the air and looks around. As you guys are now rested and mostly fed, is there anything else people want to do before
Yes.
tiredness approaches?
If I get the opportunity to catch Ulan before he goes to bed, I would approach him.
I will be remaining in the same place and will be taking first watch. So,
Okay.
so if you come and approach me there, that's fine. Just be careful with the sword trap.
Yeah, I probably don't know where you are.
I'm in the same place that I always am. I'm like, I have like a
Over here, wasn't it?
No, down the like the round the in there
Oh, it's
Look,
here.
look.
It's still.
near the sword trap. Yeah, it's where you saw me earlier.
Right, okay, then I would try to walk over.
Yeah, the only person close at this point would probably be Sechiko, who is stubbornly but made herself go and do watch.
Ulan? Ulan?
hello.
You are very muffled, Jace.
Oh crap. Hello.
It did a little better.
I have no idea why I'm suddenly muffled. Is that any better?
It is better than it was before. a
Yeah,
little.
Let's see if I can turn the mic up.
Oh dear God! Now we can.
And now you're fine again.
Oh, okay.
That is so
That's
weird.
weird. It must have been a signal thing.
Technology.
Yeah,
Yay.
it was like you were speaking under a blanket before.
That's weird. I literally did not do anything yet.
Okay.
Well, that seems to be a
Okay.
thing. But yes,
Okay.
I approach you and call your name.
Yellow.
Can we talk?
Okay.
I don't blame you if you're, well, angry, upset, disappointed. Because, well, I realize how I acted because I kind of did the same thing to Saren too. And it's mostly because I'm not really used to working with people, especially when it comes to magic. And if I do, they tend to know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So I'm sorry, and I will try to improve and
It's
don't make the
No.
same mistake.
it's not that. It's something else. I know that you are the one in the group that knows everything about magic. You certainly know more about it than I am. I do, and I know that Savant is the one that knows all about the wilderness and tracking, and I know that Ithelmore is from a religious order, and Aaron knows all of his religious stuff and things as well, and Seren is an expert on military tactics, and I am nothing. I am not the expert or the specialist on anything at all. I don't even. I barely know where I came from. I. We're here at. We went to the metal temple of my monastic order, and I I wasn't even good enough to do that. The thing, I mean, Savant ran off and did blacksmithing down in the forge, and Ithamore got his, the fancy sword from the big flaming guy, and I'm not sure why I'm here and what I'm for. And you just reminded me that I'm the useless one. I don't. I'm not special like you guys are. I don't have a specialism like you guys do. And I thought, I don't know. I was just looking at the thing, and I wanted to be useful. And it reminded me that I'm not. And that's not your fault. That's not something that you did. It's something that is wrong with me.
There's
And
nothing wrong with you.
there's a lot wrong with me.
No. And you're not useless.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
I I was stuck in my temple for 38 years because I wasn't good enough to leave yet. I have parents that, well, I have a mother who thought getting rid of me was the best option. And I know why, and I understand why. But I just. I left the temple to be more than nothing. More than just one of the same, more than just the Dragonborn, the blue Dragonborn at the Azure Dragon Temple. I wanted to be Ulan, and I wanted to figure out what that meant. And I've latched onto you guys, and I don't I don't even I don't I know you guys don't need me here. And I just cannot figure out how to make myself matter. I mean, if we get into a fight, Seraphina's there before I am. We've got Senegir now, and he's better at this kind of stuff than I am. And Savant's better at hitting things a long way away than I am with my bow, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the point of me is, and I really, really need to feel as if there is a point to me.
I woke up and hug Ulan.
I just don't know what. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just.
You are being a hero.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Oh,
You
no
are
more than.
doing as much as the rest of us are. And you see things I don't see. You make, in most cases, connection I don't. Because I know magic, but I don't really know much about anything else.
Neither do I. Stuck at the top of a mountain for 3.5 decades. You know.
Well, I've been stuck in books.
I just. I don't know. I feel like I'm a fake that no one has figured out yet. I feel like. I don't know.
You're not fake, especially to me. Remember what you called me?
And that's still true.
Still true for me too. And I would not give you up for anything in the world.
Well, we'll see. I'm a little bit too used to being given up. So.
Well. I will not give up on you.
Ooh, then. Give me a perception check.
Perception. Go through again.
Yeah.
Oh, I can let through.
As you're having this conversation, you don't see anything, but you hear on the other side of the wall kind of just an exasperated sigh.
Oh, great. Do I recognize the voice?
Yes. It's feminine, and you haven't been around enough, but you know it's Setchika.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say it's Velis then. I was like,
What? Nani?
How did he get here?
Who's over here on this side, and she kind of just comes around the corner, just pokes her head out. With no coy smile, kind of a thoughtful, which is odd from what you've seen of her. Not really concerned, but assuring face of just a I'm surprised.
okay. By what exactly?
I'm surprised you think so lowly of yourself. I've seen you maybe 3 to 4 times, and what you say makes no sense. I would actually listen to the little one. She speaks more truth about you than you do about yourself. It's actually surprising. You talk about strengths, your weaknesses that are shown through from others, that you are not as powerful as the rest of your group. And you forget the most important thing of all.
And what's that?
You don't know.
Probably not, no.
Do you know why we listen to Arcantile?
Honestly, no.
It's not for his intelligence. It's not for his thinking. He is good at that, but that's not why. It's not even for his abilities. He is a good fighter, and I do appreciate his assistance in his magic. But no, it's none of those. He even listens to you. I was listening while you were discussing the temple, the ruins. He was listening to you. It's a quality. A skill few have. If you have yet to recognize it yourself, then
What quality?
she kind of just shakes her head ever so slightly. You really don't see it, do you?
No, I don't.
There is a saying in my language from the East. The best way of translating it to your tongue. Those with strength have no direction until pointed by the wind.
I'm not sure I understand.
You said your friends are powerful, strong, capable of things few can. But who guides them?
You're saying I'm the wind.
Ah, he gets it. You are the one that is the gusts behind and in front. It is always the most unseen and the most important.
There's some irony there. With what my mother named me. Apparently I'm supposed to resist the wind, not be it.
Why not be both? The one that diverts it. She's kind of got her smile back again. Don't be so hard on yourself. Worrying about yourself is good. And you worry about others, which is better. The reason we let Arcantire lead, you make sure that we are his priority.
I can do that. I can put this family of mine first. That's not difficult. Ulan gives Seraphina a little bit of a squeeze. Right. You all matter to any stupid amount to me. And yeah, you'll always be first.
Eventually, every wind has a direction. She kind of smiles, and then, with effortless movement, turns around and walks past the wall again.
Well, that was awkward.
And then she pops her head back around. Also, you two are so adorable.
Okay.
And then gives you a wink and then leaves.
I steal Seraphina's hat and put it on.
And I look confused where Shizuku was, and then I feel my head being taken from me, and I look up.
Thinking of trying a new look.
Well, I do have a spare.
Actually,
I'm sorry about earlier.
It's okay. I just want you to be happy.
We'll see about that.
Do you mind if I join you for the watch?
Actually, I'd really like that. And I am going to. What's the temperature like down here, actually?
It's pretty chilly.
Okay.
You've
I'm
gotten
gonna-
used to it, but yeah, it's pretty chilly.
I'm gonna get like my tinderbox out and just do a teeny weeny little fire and control flame it for ages.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then just
I
until
can
flame can't do-
I can control flames too.
Oh, in that case, we would just make pictures in the fire.
Yes.
Just like I'll like try and do like a little flame siren attacking a flame Senegear, and a flame Aaron trying to flirt with a flame snake.
Telling stories with fire.
It's amateurish, but it's cute. It's kind of. Pyrox seems to enjoy it as well.
How is Pyrox, by the way? How's he holding up?
How is he? Basically, after we have been, yeah.
Very quiet.
Oh. Of course, he's quiet.
Arcantile thinks we may be in like the Shadowfell version of the Emerald Sea, which I guess we need to start calling like the I don't know what's black, the Jet Ocean. I don't know. I'm not good at names. Yeah, is that futzing with his stuff? Is he like struggling or? Has he recovered from the ley line?
Yeah, I
You're
would.
not sure at this point, yeah.
He's being quiet, and yeah.
Oh, there's something I was wondering next time you speak to him.
Oh.
When the ley line was like pulling him away, ask him, was it like when they try and take his power? Maybe it's the same, maybe it's different, but I just have a really bad feeling.
Well, he did tell me before we went into the ruins that he lost consciousness when he was near the ley line.
Lost con? That does not sound good.
No.
I just, the ley line drains power from magical things, and he's having power drained from him, and he is a magical thing, so I don't know. We've got earth flame portals and bleed through from Shadowfells, and just he's on the fire plane, and I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing connections that aren't there, but he's important to you, which makes him important to me. So I just want to make sure he's okay.
I asked Hawkstad, because he mentioned that he saw a rift in me.
A rift?
Yeah, well, he has seen it at other people too.
Arcantile was talking about those to me earlier. No.
Hawkstad.
Arcantile was talking to me about rifts earlier.
Yeah, that is his area of expertise. But as far as Hawkstad knows, Arcantile doesn't know about rifts in people, and Arcantile doesn't know about Pyrox, so I might have told Hawkstad to try to clarify some things, but He
Alright.
was surprised. So,
If
yeah.
it makes any difference, when I told Arcantile earlier, when I was talking to him earlier, he told me what he really knew about Harbingers. I think whatever test he was running on us back then, I think maybe it's over. So I don't want to say trust him, but I'm less reluctant to now. It's entirely your call, but
Yeah.
he's giving me less of the heebie-jeebies than he used to.
Yeah, but I was told to be careful with
I know.
whom I shared it with. But Hawksworth did mention he potentially would, or that he would mention it to the Oracle. And she might know something.
The Oracle's probably the best bet at this point. And I know this is probably goes without saying at this point, but Hostrad says the orb thingy is like the ley line a wee bit, so
Yeah.
maybe you also should steer clear of it because of Pyrox. Yes.
Yeah. No touching.
No touchy touchy. That seems more like Aaron's thing anyway. Speaking of which, what the hell is with him and the snake lady?
I don't know.
Like, I think maybe she likes him. There was something weird that happened earlier. I think maybe he's in with a shot there.
It's not something I noticed. So, I'm the wrong one to ask.
Fair enough.
So try ask Saren. She might know.
Maybe I think she's a wee bit distracted with her own stuff, though.
Well.
You know, her and Senegir doing the thing.
As a point, Aaron, where are
Yeah.
you currently?
Well, I was having dinner with somebody, right?
Oh, with Daniela, yes.
Yeah, sure.
I think we're probably done at this point. So.
As a segue on that, actually, Daniela does bring that up.
Bring what up?
Oh, honey, you were quiet for far too long.
Aaron, this is a strange question to ask, but
Okay.
how much do you know about the, I believe her name's Sechiko, the one that came here with Arcantile. She's very,
You know,
different.
Not much. We fought together just a few hours ago. She did well.
This is the first time I've met her, and she seems very, well, friendly.
Oh shit, I heard.
You heard.
Yes, it's not the first time we've met. We met in the... Where did we meet before?
A capital in Redwall.
Yeah.
Griffin.
But you did it in the capital, but you quote unquote met her on the way to the Tig.
Yeah,
True.
on the way to Tig. That's the.
Oh,
I met her then
yes.
in the battle there.
She has a way of being very handsy.
I've never noticed.
Give me a deception check. That voice crack.
Please don't roll a 2.
Roll a 3.
Roll a 3, yeah.
Do you want me to roll for you?
No, I'm fine.
Mm. She doesn't have a modifier, so might be fine. Yeah. It's a 10. Yeah.
Damn, it wasn't that 15.
She's not that wise.
Yes. So
All right
she
then.
seems friendly enough.
Just keep an eye on her. She's
Oh,
asked me
I
some
will.
strange questions.
Oh, like what?
She kind of half turns her face away from you. And you can definitely see her ears kind of red up.
Oh. Right.
You know, you're a cleric of Soon. You know about these types of questions.
Exactly. So you shouldn't be embarrassed. What did she ask?
As a lady, I try not to bring up those sorts of conversation. And I think it would be best not to.
As you wish.
At this point, it's very obvious she
Had the hots for her.
she's distracted.
Oh yeah. She's thinking about it.
She would never.
I don't think she seems friendly enough. You shouldn't be worried.
Right. Keep an eye on her. She's.
I will.
Thank you, Aaron.
Very welcome.
This is a very interesting circumstance. I should be going. We have to rest. She kind of disappears into a corner with her stuff.
So I learned Sachiko is adventurous.
That's a surprise.
No.
I was gonna say that's.
Well,
Well, I'm gonna
Next
say,
point,
you
please.
have first sentence, she was in a room with multiple ladies and men, so yeah.
As you guys are all beginning to feel exhaustion beginning to come over you guys, is there anything else you guys want to do before resting? Nope. No? Okay then. So, you all go downstairs into this relatively large chamber, which, coming down here, I think a second time now, it's definitely reminiscent of both the ruins upstairs as well as the temples that you've seen throughout the Emerald Sea. It's very hard to see anything down here as there's pretty much no light. But you can tell there's definitely been some markings on the walls, symbolizing it is definitely part of the above ruins. It's hard to notice as most of the floor has been covered in moss as well, but there definitely seems to be markings all across the floor as well, or would have been markings. Most of them have been worn out, but this was definitely used for something. As you all begin to get out sleeping bags, using your bags to rest on, you can, Ulan, you've felt the pulse another 2 times so far.
2 times from when I.
Yes.
Okay.
Savant as well, you can have heard that as well. Which,
Yeah,
so from
is,
what you can tell,
having his shoes on.
it's probably every 2 hours is one of these pulses, or tremors, as Thurpa told you, Zerp, sorry, told you. So you can probably work out that if you go to sleep, another 4 would pass, if you sleep for 8 hours.
Okay.
So you can add that onto your math equations. So you'll go into your relative sleeping patterns. Seraphina, do you want to meditate? Or you feel like you don't need to now?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
I'm doing first watch as well. So.
Alright. Ro would probably do first watch with you as well. Just because you have so many people. You can do 2 people per 12. Okay, cool. Yeah. Pyrox has been very quiet, which is not helping, but it allows you to at least have a quiet state moment before you go to sleep. As you all take your rests, apart from Ulan, who's
I'm just going to explain to Ro as well how the vibration through the ground thing works, so that she can count as well.
very unsurprising, but sure. And she takes off her boots. I won't bother too much about who does rests, but just having an idea that there is people doing watches is fine. Eventually, however, you all have a state of sleep, and as you do, all of you get the sense that you can feel a very faint pulsing sound, which Savant had described previously, which, as you're all sleeping at this point, it feels closer. It's still nowhere near as loud as you would imagine it would be from wherever it is, but you can feel it just reverberate through your entire bodies, this pulsing sound. And as it keeps on going and bringing you closer to it, it begins to feel more and more like some type of heartbeat or rhythmic sense of alive, which is almost almost like a metronome, which brings you closer to a state of sleep. As you feel it coming closer and closer and closer, all of you feel a sense of movement across your bodies, or you think it's your bodies, as you're all appear in a room, or it would be a room, but there are no walls. There is a floor though of ash, and in the center a long table, each with a stone chair across both sides of it, and there are people seated on it. And you can see, or you can sense, the people sitting there as you look across at each of them, and there's no face or body, but there's a consciousness that you can sense, and you understand that each of these is Arcantile, Ro, Hawkstrat, Daniela, Sechiko. Some other ones that you don't know, and each other. And the table itself is also stone, but not grey stone or obsidian of anything, but white marble textured, and across it as well, ash, spread across it evenly. And you can see at the far side, just in vision but clear, unlike the others, a face of a woman of, you're not even sure how old, both young and incredibly old, maybe 20s, but also possibly in her 50s, of white grey hair, not wiry or old where it begins to crinkle, but smooth, clean, shiny, tied up with various knots in places and laden with trinkets placed in it of various materials which you all can recognize are types of plants, stones, bones, which carry on across her form, across her ears, around her neck, in an elaborate necklace of both metals, of golds and silvers, but not as the main mantelpiece. What seems to be the center decorative part of her necklace seems to be this jade circlet of circular in shape, placed just above where her clavicles meet. And you can barely see parts of her dress which go underneath the table, of also types of both silks as well as furs which seem to intermingle. And all of you at the same time, strangely, lock eyes with her, this woman, who seems to be staring at you and other people all at the same time. And you feel like you're waiting there, waiting. But time doesn't seem to be moving. You know you've been sitting or standing, you're not sure, but for several moments, but these moments seem to be lasting forever or going incredibly fast. And then she speaks, or you think she speaks, but her mouth doesn't move. A road with 3 paths, darkness, stone, webbing, all lead to the path we must take. The darkness is direct, but beyond is unknowing. The stone is filled with smoke, cinder, and dust. And webbing, tied together by corruption and poison. And tied and bound by the very machinations of our foe. Make your decision soon. The rifts are coming undone. And like the table itself, the entirety of the table and the chairs turn into ash and fall into the floor. And with each consciousness flickering out and out and out and out and out, and then darkness. I would like all of you to give me a sanity check.
Here we go, boys.
As all of you feel a sense coming from this darkness, which wasn't there before. Reach out,
Come on through.
not with hands, but with tendrils.
Can
From
I
no
use
shape.
luck on this roll?
It is a check.
Yeah, yo. Holy shit! Oh wait, what?
That was Sarah.
Wait, what?
That was yours.
You're proficient in sanity?
Aren't we?
No, it's sometimes it does the wonky.
Yeah, it's added her strength and proficiency for some reason, but it's
It's a net 20.
a 20. It's still a
It's a
20.
nat
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not
even
20. I
if
was
it's,
saying you're proficient in sanity?
Wait,
I can take that. I can change that. Hold on. How it's just supposed to be just the straight D20 roll, right?
If some people have modifiers, which I think you do have as well. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it's a minus for you or not, but it's still a 20 either way.
I'll add a hero die to this one as well.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So imagine you're taking the 9 and you're adding
Yeah.
adding the 3.
That's not how lucky works, though.
Yeah, you can pick
You
either.
can pick between. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it's different from inspiration. Inspiration, you take the other one. Or is it? No, inspiration is advantage. Oh, whatever.
It
But
says
yes.
my sanity is 10, but that does not seem right.
Which one's yours?
Mine, no, like on my character sheet it's saying my sanity is 10. But that
Oh.
doesn't seem right. I'm pretty sure I had a higher sanity than that, because sanity was a requisite for my prestige stuff, right? The one that I'm halfway through. I thought I had like 14 sanity, not 10.
Yours is.
Just to say, if you go into options, you can have sanity as a stat instead of a skill.
Yep. I have it as a stat.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
put it in your notes anyway. Yeah, yours is 14 because I put it in your notes. Because I prepared. Yeah, yours is 14. And I can check on Saren's notes.
Under the cog, you can add a stat, don't you?
Yeah, Saren, yours is 13, so you have a +1.
Okay, so it's just
So it's 21.
Okay, then I need to make it a stat. Okay.
How do you do it as a
How do you do that?
Option.
Go into cogs and there is look around there, you find it. It's under honor. I know.
7, 9.
It's under what, sorry?
Where you see initiative,
House
go
rules.
just down, and there's house rules and honor and sanity. We're not playing with honor.
How? Oh, how is it? I see. That's cool.
Alright.
And so
Oh, okay.
that's cool. I can delete it from the finger of it.
Is that everyone? Actually, I should probably do
I
one
get it,
for. I might as well do Senators as well.
Senses is insane.
Yeah, Senator's gonna go save. Okay. Don't fear, you don't know what the DC is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It could have been worse though.
It's probably higher than a 9, like I said that.
Um,
With my magical -2 sanity.
and as you're all trapped within this darkness, you feel these tendrils, but with no shape or substance, coming not from below, but from above, reaching out. And they don't grab your body, but they go for your mind. And everyone but Saren, who do this individually, needs to give me a D100.
You said one at a time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I roll first.
What-
Savant, Aaron, Seraphina. For more.
It's horrible. We don't know if high or low is good.
Yep.
I suddenly have like flashbacks to
Uh,
the Warhammer 40k RPGs with D100s.
Ulan, you as well. Oh,
Wait, what did that
you did it twice. It's fine. I'll take the first one. And Senager. Wow. Okay.
Did you roll as well?
You will find out when I send you individual messages.
Oh dear.
Yeah, D, you need to roll a D100 as well, I think.
No,
No.
you saved.
She saved.
No, because I saved.
That's right. That's why you didn't roll it.
Rest of us
confused.
failed.
I was waiting for you to roll, and then I was like, wait, you're rolling.
Wait, what? Yeah, no. She was the only one who passed.
Mutation shot. What?
I don't know.
Sure.
Lead starts.
Jesus, Mary
A
and Joseph.
shot isn't that like where you break wind and follow through?
Yep.
Well,
I've got the mutation shot. That's the scene that
That's
you never
a-
see in any of the
That's
X-Men
the
films.
worst X-Men mutant I've ever heard of.
Mhm.
Well, that's his mutant power. He's a shot.
As you feel unable to defend yourselves, this tendril from somewhere, which is both incorporeal but physical, as you feel it get a grip across your very mind, and doesn't squeeze but grips within its grasp. And then you fall into darkness once again. Ithamore. This is the first time that you slept in the Deeplands. It's dark like anything else, but it has a familiarity to it. Like we've been here several times before. Like you've walked through these caverns and you smelt this air. You see ahead of you, which is surprising because you don't dream. And surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, this is not the first time something's given you a vision. Ahead of you, you see a passage, an archway which travels forwards for several hundred feet. Do you walk? Or do you stay?
I walk into it.
Alright. As soon as you walk, you feel the final step as you step out of the passage into a small personal quarters of a circular room. Several chairs line the walls. Five, to be precise. None of them are familiar to you, apart from one. On the far side of the room, a simple wooden, not so much chair, but closer to a throne from its decorative state of its back to the armrests, is meekly different in comparison to the others. which are covered in gold, mithril, silver. Even obsidian is one of them made of. Do you go across to it?
I have a bad feeling about it, but yes, I walk up to it and inspect it.
You go close to it and inspect it. It's doesn't look like it's been sat in, possibly ever, with a thin coating of dust across it. Maintained, but welcoming.
Is there any writing on the throne or near the throne?
There are elven markings, you could say, into it. And looking at the top, in Elvish, says the word Haralde, which you now know is the word for harbinger. You can flick across the room and see the other ones. And from this distance, you can see at the top, they also have a similar marking. All of the 4 others. And as you look across, all of them have a shadow sitting in them. There's no body sitting in them, but the shadow of a humanoid figure in each of the chairs, waiting. And then you hear a familiar voice coming from above. My children, soon to be my flesh and my blood. You are my convictions upon the plain. That I shall rightfully take. My time is little. There is much movement from the others. And there are fools who would try to keep me away, to think there are better powers than their own goddess. Our time will come soon.
Is it possible to push the throne over?
To push it over?
Yeah.
You're not sure.
I put my shoulder into it and try.
Okay. Give me a strength check. Okay. You feel substance hit into the side and it begins to wobble. It's rather heavy. Doesn't cause any commotion, however.
I put my back into it and try again.
Sure.
The strength check.
Yep. And you will be forthcoming. And then as scatters of wood shatter the floor. And the room goes silent. It's a shame you lived, my precious failure. Have you come to join me? We'll be waiting. Our time is short.
I just walk out of the room.
As you do. My harbingers, my sins. And as you go down the hallway,
As I exit, I just flip her the bird.
you're not sure if you even have a body, but you have strength. And you just hear the thin wisps from behind as they evaporate into darkness, and the chittering of spiders.
Remember what happened last time? I stopped leg it just in case they chase me.
Okay. And as you do, you travel, and then as you get to the end, it vanishes beneath you, and then you feel almost like a roller coaster. Your stomach goes up into your chest, and you feel like you're falling, and you go back into a state of your own control. And that's where we'll finish. Before you guys wake up.